Hi again. It's Heather from Heather's Journals. I just realized that this phone has its own light, and I found out a way to get the lighting much better. I apologize for my earlier videos. I hope the lighting wasn't that bad. I just wanted to show you, this is like the third journal I've ever made. It's huge, and my inspiration actually came from, if you ever seen that show Charmed, I always loved how when they carried their book, it seemed as if they were carrying a brick, and I wanted something like it so bad. But I was having trouble because I got the huge cover and couldn't find paper that would fit it. I did actually get some paper, and I was going to cut it up and put it in there. I got this white craft paper that you put on a table for your kids when they're doing crafts and you don't want them to mess it up. But I actually came up with a much thriftier and way different solution. Paper bags that you get when you go to the grocery store. Now this one has a pattern on it from a shelf I was making out of what is it called, popsicle sticks, the bigger ones. But this is basically what I did, and I had folded it like this, and when I first started, each page was going to have its own little tuck spot up front because that's just how it's made. It wasn't until after I finished that I realized if I cut the edges, it would make double the amount of paper inside this book. So I just wanted to let you know about that little thrifty idea that I had come up with just to fill up a bigger book. So there are quite a few solutions that you can do when trying to fill a big book when it comes to paper. You can use, like I did, the paper bags that you get from the grocery store. You can get that paper that you buy to cover up for your kids. It's like $3.99 for a bunch of paper. You can use actual wrapping paper. You can use the one side and then you have a beautiful pattern on the other. And I got this from the dollar store. Or you can use craft paper and cut that to size. So I went with the paper bag method. First, I'm going to show you the cover. The cover is just Mod Podged on. I crumpled up some pattern paper and I inked it up. And at the time, I didn't really know how to, do the spine and make it work. So it was ripping a little bit, but I don't mind the way it works. Honestly, the way it looks. Honestly, the Mod Podge really helps it hold up, but it does rip in some spots. I did bind this in. That was way afterwards because I didn't know how to do that when I was making this book originally. Let's go ahead and go on the inside. So again, when I was making this, it wasn't meant to be a junk journal. I think I thought I was making like a book of shadows, just thrifty. I think I thought I was making basically a scrapbook. Okay, so this is the first page. I figured I would put in things with the season. So for winter, I'd put in a picture for winter, summer, spring, fall, etc. I did do some writing. So because I didn't cut them till after I had already made it, it's basically going to be patterned page, not patterned page, patterned page, not patterned page, etc. So what I did here was I used the pop-up stickers in some areas, which I want to start doing in my junk journals. There's actually a lot of stuff in this journal that I want to call back to and start doing in my junk journals because I do think this is very, very well made, especially for my, third time of making something. This is the chakras. I drew that. And then I went and I tried aging it too. I did go back after, doing, getting into the whole junk journaling process. I went back and started changing things to my liking. For example, I sewed in the pages, which I forget what that's called. It's not easy twine binding. It's called, pamphlet stitch. This is the 3 pamphlet stitch. This page was going to be this is basically my craft page, and I was going to put everything in here that I planned on putting throughout the book. This is some more writing I did. And it worked out too because most of the pattern pages I used are very dark, which is okay because I ended up, I have gold and silver markers I can use for the dark pages, but it works too that now I can use, you know, black marker as well. And you can use marker with this, which is great because it's thicker. It's not paper. It won't seep through. Not to mention, in order to get the pattern paper on, you have to glue it on or tape it on, so it definitely won't seep through. There's actually a lot you can do with this because certain things won't seep through. It would probably make a wonderful art journal, again, because just the paper is so durable and it's so big. It would be like having a canvas on each page, which is another good idea. You could use canvas paper in a book, or canvas in a book. I know it comes in rolls. So I used a lot of these pop-up stickers, and that's going to be a callback for me in my junk journaling. This is a little tuck spot. At the time, it was just a folder to me. This has Velcro. I paid attention to detail in this book, and I like put edges on everything I thought would get damaged. This actually goes pretty deep. It goes to about here. This is just made the star, cut it out, put it on there. When I first made this book, I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to bind it. So I punched a bunch of holes and I was going to do the, 3-ring binder method. Didn't like that idea. So in order to hide the holes, I started putting washi tape on the pages that had holes. This is for a picture. I wish I had a picture to put in there so I could show you. But basically like a picture of you or your loved ones, and it's framed, so you put it in there like so. This is just gorgeous. I got this from the dollar store. I got this from the dollar store. Did I get anything else from the dollar store? I got some of my washi tape from the dollar store. For some reason, I put cardboard behind this. Couldn't tell you why. Oh, most of my pop-up stickers I got from the dollar store, if not all of them. The dollar store is a great place to get your junk journaling supplies if you're on a budget. Even if you're not on a budget, it's a great place to get your junk journaling supplies. I got this from the dollar store. I got this from the dollar store, both these tapes. I didn't get this from the dollar store. I just thought it was cute because it's so big and the book is so big. I got this from the dollar store. Both of these. I figured this would be a good place for another picture. Plain again. This one you can kind of see where all the holes are. I was just so confused. I didn't know what I was doing. Again, third book, guys. I went back and started aging things, especially things that ripped after I had started junk journaling, because that's when I learned all the tricks and ticks. Try and move a little fast some places because I'm talking a lot. I forget where I got this. Yes, I got this at Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I still have a little tiny bit left, but I love it so much. I think it's wall. I think it's for your wall, actually, but it's so awesome. It glitters a little bit. It's very, very nice. Most of the stuff I buy with my 40% off coupon or on clearance or at the dollar store. There are things I will pay full price for if I absolutely need it and want it. I couldn't tell you what they are right now because my mind is going a mile a minute. Let's see. This is another, just little folder area. But back then, I was so afraid that things were going to get damaged. I didn't understand yet the whole vintage look. And I made sure, I gave this a lining. I made sure everything was, I paid attention to detail. Big time. Oh, and I love this tuck spot for a junk journal. I want to try this for a junk journal really bad. Like I said, I paid attention to detail, so for things like this, I did put cardboard underneath of it. I don't remember what my reasoning was. I lined the outside, and I made sure it looked pretty when there was nothing in it as well.